Peace, peace, peace.
Peace. What it do? What it do? Welcome to another edition of Plot in Progress. This is episode 45. Am I correct, brothers?
Yes, sir.
We got a very special show tonight with a very special guest. Uh, her name is Rhea Williams, and she is a proud HBC graduate who began her educational journey at Clark Atlanta University, obtaining a BA degree in psychology. Her love of working with and learning about people motivated her to continue her educational pursuits in the field by attending California State University, Northridge, obtaining a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. Yeah, but sounds like we're going to have to get her for the family conference next year or something, man. She also holds certifications in meditation, co-parenting, spiritual and premarital counseling. She is a very proud entrepreneur, author, and first-time restaurant owner of Doughboy Pizza, located in the Arizona Center in downtown Phoenix. With a successful track record across various industries, including mental health, beauty, entertainment, education, and nonprofit sectors, she is impassioned to build a lasting legacy for her family and to empower young entrepreneurs on their journeys. She brings a wealth of experience, a uniquely diverse skill set, and a dedicated commitment to excellence to anything she puts her hands on. Her mission is to help others understand what is real and possible in their lives while guiding them to deal with their challenges in an effective, peaceful, and practical way. She unapologetically encourages others to pave their own path, and like her college motto taught her, always find a way to make one. She'll be coming on in about 5 to 10 minutes, but before she comes on, we have to recap episode 44 from last week, y'all. Who wants to start?
And I'll jump in there.
Go ahead. You got it.
And I think the brother. Shout out to the brother Philip, man. Just the impact of what he was speaking about when it comes to the fact of being a land owner, right? His business and how he grew his business, and the fact of incorporating family into that, man. That was, for me, it was just super dope to see how he's building. And to me, he's a perfect puzzle piece to what we're building for October, which I don't want to steal that. I don't want to spoil it because we got that coming a little bit later on. We'll talk about that, but that for me, that's what stood out.
Indeed. Kala?
Yeah, likewise. I agree with that sentiment. A wealth of knowledge. But what I really appreciate about what he shared with us is that a lot of these the concepts in regard to the process of acquiring and developing and kind of laying out that master plan, he's found a way to simplify it in simple terms so that it's digestible and it could be applied by the common man and woman. So I really appreciated that. He was able to kind of encapsulate that into his book, Getting Dollars from Dirt. So yeah, it was a blessing. It was a great one.
Indeed. Brother Lon and Bilal, were you able to catch the episode 44 of Philip Davis?
Yeah, I just got through it yesterday, the end of yesterday, man. It was a pretty dope episode. And I think kind of along the lines of what Colin was saying is that it just kind of reiterates the fact that it's not as difficult and complicated to find land and to acquire land as people think. And it is definitely a lot easier a process to understand and follow along than any other real estate transaction. And I think that he just kind of really made it simple to understand. And yeah, man, dope bill for real.
Indeed. Brother Black.
Just imagine me being in the background going like this. No. Because I didn't have an opportunity to check it out just yet, man. It's been a busy week, but I'm definitely going to get to it. I already heard Kylon expound a little bit about it in our personal meetings about how the connection came about and so forth. So I'm interested in seeing what all the information that was dropped on there for sure.
Yeah, brother, when you check it out, you're going to love it, man. Because, I mean, it seems like we're saying it all the time, but every time we do an episode, it seems like it's my favorite one, you know what I'm saying? But this last one, brother, the show just keeps continuing to inspire, and so I'm just very very happy to provide this to the people and because I know it's going to inspire them as well. But the one part that really stood out for me, y'all, was when he was talking about, I don't know what they're teaching in the schools. And he was talking about that was one of the reasons why he wrote his book. And I was like, yeah, that's why we need to write our books and provide those to the future generations and our youth and whatnot, man, because they're not going to teach our youth what they need to, what's valuable, what they need to know in the schools. We have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And that old Malcolm X quote, like, it's insanity for you to expect your enemy to teach your children. You know what I'm saying? He said something to that effect. You know what I'm saying? And that episode just showed and proved that, that's what we got to do, man. And, Kia, you got a book. Brother Bilal, you got a book. We can start our own institutions, just writing our own curriculum from just the books that we write. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, that episode just reinvigorated me to finish my joint. You know what I'm saying? And even though, like, Brother Bilal, even though you wasn't able to catch it last week's episode, you had something this past weekend that falls in line with that, right? Can you talk a little bit about the master class y'all had going this last weekend?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So right now we're doing what's called the Black Authors Masters class, where we're taking all of our information, all of the knowledge and jewels that we have, and we put it into a curriculum basically to make it easier for those inspiring authors to pick up on and just get started on their journey as well. So this was our second session of that particular authors class, and since the first session, 3 authors have finished their books already, and one of them actually wrote 3 books. So shout out to Brother Nate. We're gonna definitely get him on here and have him tell his story as well. But he's already ready to go on tour, and he's just talking about the future. So the Black Authors Masters class is definitely beneficial to the community. I'm happy to be a part of it, but it wouldn't happen without my brothers Javion, Brother Hannibal, as well as Brother Nakia as well. I'm just kind of like the spark to the information, and they're driving. I'm in the back seat, just making sure we're staying on track and so forth. But thanks for that time to be able to share that Black Authors Masters class as well.
Yeah, indeed. So Sister Rhea, she's very busy at the restaurant around this time. A lot of people are coming in. Alon, I know you've been there. Kylan, you've been there. I think all of us have been there, right? You know what I'm saying? Until she gets on, I mean, what y'all think? What y'all think about the restaurant and like the food and whatnot? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was actually there on Saturday, and I was thinking about mentioning it to her. I was gonna be like, "Or do you have a podcast interview covered up?" But I was like, "Nah, I just let her see me on here, and then we can build on the fact that you planted that seed in all of us, and and you do that all the time. Whenever there's a Black business of that you come across, you make sure that everyone that's in your network knows about it. And I mean, that's a beautiful thing, because I've already taken my family there as well. My wife loves it, my daughter loves it, and we're big on pizza as well. Like, because we eat pizza at least twice a month, but we try to keep it with a high in quality. So to come across a Black business that's high in quality as well is like, man, it's like dream come true in a sense.
Indeed. I know, Delon, you like that turkey pepperoni. That's your joint right there, right?
Yeah, I get the turkey pepperoni, man, but I also throw a lot of the veggies on there. So I always get like the red peppers, green peppers, jalapenos, and can't forget that truffle oil drizzle, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what I like about it is everything that Bilal just said is good, whole, fresh ingredients. It's made pretty quickly, but not like fast food quickly. But the ambiance there, man, it's just a cool place to network. And I miss being downtown. Downtown used to be my spot. I love to be able to go down there and network, take business lunches or dinners or whatever. And I just haven't spent enough time downtown. And I think that this is like the perfect place to be able to take a customer or a client or just somebody that you're trying to build with. Me and True, we've built there a few times, and I just think it's a dope spot in the Arizona Center. She's got a nice setup, and it helps that the food is damn good, man.
Indeed. Colin, what you think about Doughboy Pizza, man?
Man, indeed. So I got to echo what Bilal was saying, because you kind of put me on to, well, you put me on to it, and I went down there immediately. That same day when I was made aware of its existence, I took my family down there and we got some pizza. It's a very easy business for me to support, considering that, I'm really like a Ninja Turtle in a black man's body. So I'm always down for some pizza, you know what I'm saying? So I went on down there and got that turkey pepperoni, and I was very pleased. My family and we're big fans of the cauliflower crust, so it was like immaculate. I love that the Arizona Center has been revitalized, so just to have another reason to be in that space is great. So proud supporter, and I look forward to being in that space, supporting much more moving forward. So thank you for putting me on, brother. True, man. I'm very happy that we have Doughboy Pizza in downtown Phoenix.
Indeed. And
I just want to point out that the Ninja Turtles are black.
Gotta be right.
Yo, without further ado, we got our guest, Sister Rhea Williams. Welcome to Plot in Progress. How you doing?
Man, that was perfectly timed. I'm like, I came in to hearing about Doughboy. I was so excited. Hi.
It's waxing poetic about the restaurant and how much we like it and everything. We're gonna get into the interview in a minute, but before we do, we have this segment called "Who Spit Them Bars," where we basically, we recite certain type of lyrics from hip hop that go along with our mission, or just align what we're doing. And I gotta tell you, if you don't get this, Rhea, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. Because you get the first crack at it. All right. Now that I've got your undivided attention, I'm gonna say this and run. Under condition one. Promise me you gonna stack. Promise me you gonna ball. Promise me you'll invest 3/4 of it all. So your kids can have some cheese. Can't get with it? Get on your knees, cause wealth is the word. Riches round the corner from the curve. Don't like what I write, shoot me a bird.
Damn. I shouldn't have been so confident, huh?
Hey, you need a hint?
Dang. Well, can I what?
Do you need a hint?
Yes. I could tell you what it sounded like, but I'll take the hint.
Well, what do you think it sounded like first?
Well, J. Cole came to mind for some reason, but I'm not sure. I'll take the hint. I don't want to be wrong.
Okay, it's the group you was playing when I first came into your restaurant, but you got to name the song.
Yes!
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh,
It's
very
not my
good.
group.
You said that's your favorite group, didn't you? Didn't you say that was your favorite group?
It is my favorite group. I
Fine
usually
too.
would be better than that. My mind is bad these days.
Anybody else know what song it is?
Is that from that's not from ATLians, I'll tell you that. That's probably from Aquemini. Which song is it? Am I right about the album?
Nope. But
which album is it?
I can't say that right now. Does anybody else? I think Kyle.
Outkast is my favorite group of all time too. It's definitely Andre 3000.
Well,
I can't.
But what
I don't
song?
have
I
a
thought you
grip
said
on
name
the
the
song. I know the damn song. I can't. I don't know. You got me on that.
See?
You remember the lyrics?
I don't know why my mind.
I remember the lyrics.
Bilal, Delon.
You do?
No, sir.
You got me, man. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
who else? You said Gip? Thank you. So I ain't the only one. I don't feel bad. What song? That was like one of that wasn't it. Tell me what song it was.
Hollywood Divorce.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Little Snoop Dogg on the
That
Idlewild.
was one of my favorites.
Oh,
you
See,
dug
yeah.
deep in
No,
there.
no.
Idlewild. Yeah. He dug down deep in there.
You can't count Idle. No. That was a movie. Now I really
That's
don't
a
feel
soundtrack.
bad. That was a movie
Yeah.
soundtrack. That was not an Outkast album. That was a movie. We went out the box, so that's okay. I don't feel bad.
So, since my first
Good,
question,
good choice.
indeed. My first question, I already gave the bio in the beginning, but my first question is because from the bio you talk about it says how you have dabbled in many different fields, right? And I want to know,
Yep.
out of all those skills that you have, why pizza? Why pizza restaurant?
I love pizza. It was perfect for my goals as an entrepreneur. I worked at California Pizza Kitchen my whole time when I was at Clark, and I don't know that it kind of left an impression on me. That's where I learned all of my, I would say, people skills in terms of anticipating me. It was just the little things that I didn't realize left an impression on me. And so, right before I kind of stumbled or was guided, I would say, into this franchise, I was going to do some Airbnbs with some friends of mine. I've always had just different business ideas and concepts in mind, and it was just kind of the perfect timing. I love pizza. It's easy. It's a smart concept. The food is delicious, and I just felt real strong in my faith at that time. But yeah, I love it. And it's just, if someone were to ask me what's my favorite quick service food, I would say pizza for sure. And wings and salads. So that's why we sell those all together.
Indeed. And how long has the shop been open, and uh, why the Arizona Center?
So we have been open. Well, first of all, I apologize. My internet is shady. I hope not. We have been open for 4 months, and I was about to count the days. In 8 days, 9 days, 4 months and 9 days as of today. And we're at the Arizona Center, Suite 1210. A lot of people don't know that we're back there. We're working on that. But once they find us, they do return. So I want to thank you guys. I didn't realize you guys were all connected. So I need to thank all of you guys, because I remember each one of you guys that have come in. So good looking out. I would say thank you, True, I guess. Because you were probably the first, but I remember when you came, Kylan, with your family, and when Delone came, I remember that. So I really, it means everything to me. I often start my day very worn out, and so when people come in, it kind of gives me life, and I'm just grateful for every single time you guys have come in. So thank you
Yeah, last question
very
before I
much.
pass it around. You talk about having like a lasting legacy for your family and how you want to empower
Yeah.
young entrepreneurs. Because
Yes.
we talked about this a little bit when I was in the shop one time. How close are you to owning your own land?
You know what? My family, funny you should say that. My sister and brother-in-law, I have to give them props, because and the my homies that I was, my line sister, her husband, and one of our all of our friends, there's four of us. They were very big on planting that seed of buying land, and just my sister, that's actually, they desire to do that like right now. Like they've been looking at plots of land. So I think just being in the right company with people, I definitely have always believed in ownership, but I'm just a different type of visionary. So they want to like buy land. I mean, years ago, my some group of friends of mine, I was in a church group with, we talked about kind of owning the city and kind of building our own compound. So I'm of the mindset, but that's that part of it. Like I'm more a part of the development. Like I could never be the one to find it, but once you find it, oh, we gonna build it. That's where I would come in. So but they've planted that seed in me. So now it's very ripe in terms of where I am right now. Very much of that mindset to
Peace.
for
That's
our
peace.
family. Yeah. I love that too. I love
So
what you guys are doing.
I have a question. So I think we all acknowledge that like entrepreneurship, especially this day and age, is a very sexy term, right? And perhaps there are some that oversimplify it, right? So as an entrepreneur, if you could sort of describe what goes into that on a day-to-day basis, and what elements are you infusing into your effort to set Doughboy Pizza apart from other pizzerias? Like what makes Doughboy Pizza?
Oh boy. Now where you want me to start? The entrepreneurship is sexy part, or what am I going to do about setting Doughboy apart? Because I'm gonna tell you this. The reason why that's in my bio, and I'm sure I've said it to whoever I engage in conversation with, very much a sexy term, and very much it's a chosen path for the few. I think you can have an LLC and you can own a business, but what I've learned, even I have three businesses that I own, but this particular one has taught me way more, and I'm pretty resilient. I've done, as you all, I'm sorry, I thought I was coming at the right time, but I've been in a lot of different industries, and this one is very tough. So what I can say probably answers both questions. I am a very intentional person. I'm a lover of the human experience, and I think because I've hopped across different industries, I believe instinctively how to kind of tune into what the customers would want. And so that's why when you walk in our restaurant, or if you're sitting down eating, I wanted to write "Made with Love" because that's, what I'm here to advocate for. And I just know that when you go somewhere, it's how people make you feel. It's the experience for me. So that is what sets us apart. I'm from the South. I'm from New Orleans, and our franchise is based in the South. So with us being the pioneers on the West Coast, nobody knew what Doughboy is. They have a Doughboys here. And I grew up in LA, so they know Doughboy from Boys in the Hood, but they don't know Doughboy Pizza. So I just feel honored to have the opportunity to introduce our franchise to the West Coast. And I do intend to continue expanding. So I'm grateful for that. So that, I think, what sets us apart is bringing that true Southern, intentionality into every bite, into every offering. We're not just out here to sell any and everything. So that's intentional. We don't sell slices. That's a big one. But when you do get that pizza, I hope you all agree. You can tell it was made with some intention.
Indeed, and I think you captured it there when you said "made with love." That's key, because obviously the quality of the food is one thing, but the other piece of that is essential in my mind is feeling the warmth of the space, right? And that is akin to the level of customer service and the vibe. And we just do things a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Yeah.
we all recognize that when we come into a space. It's like that feeling you get when you in Big Mama's kitchen. You know what I mean? That vibe, that Southern hospitality that you cut from, and in a sense, we all cut from that to some degree. So I think that's a perfect complement to the product that you provide.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I was just telling the brothers that I was just there on Saturday, and that was my second go around. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to patronize the business, continue to bring my family up there as well. I would say one of the biggest takeaways is that hospitality and the warm feeling that you get when you're in there, and then the smiles and all of that come along with it. I think so. I know you mentioned that you kind of start your days drained sometimes, but
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what do you do? What are some of the things that you do to make sure that you're going into each day with the correct mentality to make sure that what you've built is you're maintaining that?
Yeah. First of all, why you ain't told me that was you? I remember you. I said you was over there ruling the world. I remember. I'm like, I remember that. You didn't tell me we was gonna be on the podcast. I didn't know that. So
Right.
I remember I'm in there, so I'm not disengaged. And I'm grateful that you asked that question because it is very much, and this is me. I always tell my employees, I tell my friends, I'm like, if you catch me anywhere from the club to church to if you catch me on the street, I'm gonna be me. And so I have a meditation app that I listen to, and I listen to, Joe Dispenza or Neville Goddard, or, I'll just listen to different, um, you know, everything that would pour into my cup because of all the unknowns that come along with this business and just how much sacrifice it takes. I do run a coaching practice too. Like I said, I have other businesses while I'm trying to run this, but I just can't let this fail. And I know that I really love it. And you guys are part of the reason why my cup gets filled. So every day, it's like every day at the end of the night, when they catch me leaving, I'm like listening to something. I was just listening to it when I was getting ready for this. I'm just filling my mind and my spirit up with positivity and remembering to be grateful because I asked for it. So I asked for this. I manifested this. I asked for it. I wanted to build a legacy with my family, and I chose this particular. This is just one thing, but there'll be more. So I have to operate in excellence. So yeah, it's just me writing, journaling, listening to things that help me stay fueled up, and praying, being in solitude helps too.
Thank you. And I was on my way home from my last venture I was just doing right now. I was thinking about some of these questions, and I was also thinking about our experience of this past Saturday. And I said, it was just authentic. It didn't seem forced. So to hear you say that, it just kind of validates my thoughts and know that I'm on the right track when I'm thinking that, because I'm like, it feels like that comes with it, but you're not doing it just because it comes with it. That's just who you are, and that's what I felt as well from that experience. So thank you. Keep it up.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I apologize. You were like my first customer, I want to say, first or second. And I'm not, I struggle because we need a little bit. I'm grateful for what I have. Let me be careful with my words. But you catch me on a Saturday or Sunday, we might open about 15 minutes later than normal because the oven's not. So I'm just grateful for the grace, that's received. And I feel confident moving forward that we're gonna tighten those loose ends up. So thank you, because I know I probably took a little
fabulous
long.
job. I wouldn't have known that if you didn't just tell me that right now.
Okay.
You checked back up on me and made sure I was good, and I was even gonna ask for a box, but I looked down. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna kill these last 2 slices. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. But we are quick service. So that's the other thing. When you go to Atlanta or Alabama, where the existing locations are, we have the largest, they're building, let me give a shout out, Fayetteville, Georgia. We have a flagship store that's going to have a bar and, be even more full service. But we are like kind of the prototype. Shout out to my favorite group. But we are the prototype store because we can do dine-in and quick. So I don't want people to feel like they just come into a counter, and like, okay, hey, here you go. We're already ordering at a kiosk, which I'm old school. I was born in the 70s. So I just feel like you have to greet people, especially because people come in with all kind of energy that I feel. Sometimes I say, hey, how you doing? Nothing back. My mom doesn't take it as gracefully because she works there when I'm not there. But that's where I don't take it personally, because by the time they eat, I guarantee you they acknowledge something when they leave. So I find it a joy to bring that positivity and to greet, even if you're just picking up a pizza and rolling out. Like, I want to treat it as I'm paying attention to you at all times while you're there, or we paying attention to you. Not just me.
Nah, that's beautiful. I think I just want to say real quick. I think sometimes what happens is that people in Arizona aren't always quick to want to say hi or respond back. So I get that oftentimes from Black folks that come from other places. They like, man, what's wrong with y'all Arizona people? I'll be like, hey, what's happening? And they just kind of mean mug you, look at you, don't say nothing. I think the other part of that too for you is that people don't generally expect to walk into an establishment and the first person that they see behind the counter at the front of the store or at the front of the shop is going to be the owner. If you wore a shirt that said I'm the owner, people will be quick to speak to you because they're like, maybe I might be able to get something for free. Maybe she might hook me up with a discount or something. So I think that's just telling to how people are. But I got 2 questions for you, and I just kind of want to go back to your bio a little bit because I mentioned to you earlier there's some things in your bio that you didn't quite mention. You've been on the Today Show a couple of times. Listen, I would walk around in a T-shirt that said I've been on the Today Show with Hoda twice.
Nah, but I wasn't talking about Doughboy though. So that we were talking about Doughboy. I mean, sure. That was my coaching practice. Why they called me on for me.
I feel that. Rhea. I think all of that is all part of the journey. You also been on the J Hud show a couple of times, but I just kind of want to. The first question that I have is that where is it that it comes from, right? Like you mentioned earlier, entrepreneurialism is a sexy term, but it's not something that's for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. And so now being I guess you could fall into that category of serial entrepreneur. Talk to me a little bit about how that came about. And did it start in high school? Did it start kind of in graduate school when you were going to Clark Atlanta? It was like something that you kind of fostered or had an idea for. And how did that transition go? Like, was it you started another business first and your coaching practice and then Doughboy, or was it something else?
I could tell you, it started in the fourth grade when I was watching Oprah. I was playing Nintendo and I was watching Oprah Winfrey. That was it. I was about 8, 9 years old. And I love people. Being a talk show host, that was always my number one dream. But then when I started to learn, I had a girlfriend that worked at Oprah, the network, before it was a network, at the Oprah show. And when I learned what the word mogul was, I was like, oh, that's me. Because my whole entire life from when I was a kid, they'd say, what do you want to do, when you get older? And I never had one answer ever. I was just like, I just want to help people. I just want to help people. And then the older I got, and when I learned that Oprah had, well, it was one moment they said she had 10 assistants, or so. I was random conversation. That's usually how my epiphanies come. And I was young and I learned, I said, well, what does that mean? I looked up the word mogul. It was probably Russell Simmons and her. I think that was the two people that exposed me to being whatever moguls were. And once I learned that definition, I was like, oh, it gave me a sense of peace, to be honest, because I could never be boxed into like one thing. I did makeup. I love people. I was drawn to psychology. I hated being broke, even though I'm still like, we never had, none of my parents, owned their homes. So I didn't really have exposure from that regard, but I knew that I was different. I knew that I was not lazy. And I knew I learned my work ethic from my mother, especially. So it was just through me, I would say learning what the word mogul was. And that was really what drew me, is like seeing that people cannot be boxed in. Like, I can be a talk show host, but I can run, all these different businesses. And then I worked in music and entertainment for a while. And I started to see, I want to say, when Rick Ross, had all these wing stops. And, I just was drawn to people who expanded their portfolio, because then it taught me, hey, okay, I don't feel so bad that I don't have to be boxed into one lane. And so it was from that, I think, that kind of step by step. But to your question about how I started them, I think, gosh, what made me start my business? I always had a job. Obviously, I was never, and then from working in entertainment, I used to do makeup. And from working in entertainment so many years and in music, I would be around, you get exposed to people who have money. And I always felt like I was like a everyday kind of girl next door, just a regular person, but I didn't have the access. Like, I always saw the gap between people who grew up like me, whether it was New Orleans or in South Central LA, that just had parents that would grind and work hard. But then your friends, I would just see other cultures and other races that just were always 10 steps ahead. And I never held my head down, but I knew that I was going to be a connector of sorts, because I'm just not one that would withhold. If I learn something, I'm instantly sharing it, with someone else. So that was kind of where the coaching and my consulting, I didn't know what a consultant was. Even when I was at Clark, I'm like, that was more my friends that worked at Deloitte, but now as I hip hop across these industries, it was people that I was around that say, hey, Rhea, you can monetize, who you are really and what you do. And so in that, now I have more confidence, to share that, if that answers your question. I don't know, hopefully.
Yep. It does. Really quick, I just have one more question, because you kind of mentioned you brought up Rick Ross and the wing stop. So now having owned traditional business, an unconventional business, being a consultant, I've done the personal coaching before. That's not typical of conventional business. And then now the franchise model. Which do you prefer, the franchise model or the traditional brick and mortar or online business or consulting business?
You might need to ask me this in like 6 months. Ask me that in 6 months, because I can't even answer that, to be totally honest. I'm just knee deep in it. And so there's so many, I have to say, I had a space in the nonprofit world as well. And I'm not quite a like what I know, I know what I know, and I know what I don't. So I think no matter which model an entrepreneur chooses, as long as you can delegate and as long as you can outsource the areas, I just know what I know, and I don't have any desire to do certain things. But when you have to do it, so that, I was in nonprofit as well, and I just had to figure out how to be a fundraiser, how to market, how to learn how to run board meetings. And so I think through experiences that have forced me to figure it out, now I think I could choose any route. But right now, this brick and mortar is no joke. It's just always something. So I don't know yet. I'm grateful though. I'm grateful. I like to have a little more, I just kind of like to not have to be surprised every day.
Well, before we continue, before we continue with the discussion, we want to shout out some black-owned businesses.
Yeah,
Grassroots Bookstore. You got a chance to go up there, Rhea, I believe.
I
Of
did
course,
love it.
Doughboy Pizza. You know what I mean? Early Bird Vegan, one of my favorite spots to go check out in Tempe. Uh, Brothers, y'all got something y'all want to shout out?
Indeed. Shout out to Straw and Wool,
There you go.
Acres,
Mm,
Stardust and Sage,
there you go.
I'm going there.
Sugar Jam.
Sugar
OBS.
Jam.
OBFC, man, come on.
Shout out to
Punch out.
OBFC.
Yo, the growth spot.
Yes,
Know what I mean?
sir.
But yeah, there you go. There you go. Delon, can you tell us a little bit about that shirt you just showed off right there?
Come on, man.
Absolutely, man. This is the second drop in the line of 6. It's a legacy, which is part of our mission statement. Legacy stands, the L is for love, equity. You can't see the whole thing, but it's equity, growth, ancestry, cooperation, and yield, which is the mission statement for our organization, the L.E.G.A.C.Y LLC and the L.E.G.A.C.Y Foundation. It's central to everything that we believe about what's important for legacy. Legacy is something that has also become a sexy term, but when you really talk about how we build in legacy, I believe that acronym is pretty true, and everything that you need to pour into really being able to create a lasting legacy for not just yourself, but your family, your community,
That's right.
our people as a whole.
Yo, Nakia, before you ask the next question, brother, I know you got a specific trade that you deal in. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, man. So I'm also the owner of a business called. So I don't know if you can see the shirt.
Black
Ownership.
leadership?
Black ownership. Yeah,
Ownership. Oh, dope.
Black ownership.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I have my own media business as well. So I do videography, photography, all of those things I do. Collective for the foundation, for the growth spot, for us in general. For all of the things that we're doing, and it's quite the journey. I'm also, what's interesting about your journey as well is that I've also been selected. I hadn't shared this with a lot of the brothers yet, but I've been selected for 2 different franchises as well, and so I've been entertaining jumping into the franchise arena. So it's interesting just to hear the dialogue and to just understand. I already knew coming into it the fact that each day is a day-to-day process, right? Each day is going to be different, so I already knew that. So it gives me confidence to hear you say that, hey, ask me again in 6 weeks, ask me again in 6 months, let's see how the journey goes. But my media business is called Eternal Lenses Media, and so we focus on connecting people to everlasting memories, and that's what I do. That's what I do. And the question that I wanted to throw out there for you, I know that you mentioned this a little bit earlier, right, about giving. I feel the same way. I have that same type of heart that, when people give me something, it's like, man, I'm ready to share it. And can you speak to us a little bit about, how that led you into some of the nonprofit work that you've had experience in?
Oh, of course. Well, first, congratulations. I was over here typing in the name. I write down everything, so I'm not being rude, but I had to write down Eternal Lenses Media, Black
That's right.
ownership. I'm I am a giver, and I am Auntie Rhea. I have a whole lot of people in my life that I am fortunate enough that look to me, young people, same age and even older, that I get to the privilege of being a part of their journey. So I just know I have one friend in Chicago. She's really a friend of a friend, and she probably gave it to me the realest. All the entrepreneurs I know, I don't think that they were really honest. Like, they didn't connect the dot about what it really took. So yeah, it made me think, oh yeah, okay, it'll be easy for me to get funding. It'll be easy. I'm black. I'm smart. No. So yeah, that is kind of why I find it my purpose to share. But are you saying what? Remind me what you want me to say, because I'm passionate about this.
Yeah. So
tell me again.
How does that connect to what you've done in the nonprofit space? Because I also do a
Nonprofit
ton
space.
of work in the community.
Okay, so I will tell you, my work in the nonprofit was on behalf of someone else. So I worked for an artist, and I I'm good at being able to, like, I can have a conversation with a person and know what their vision is and kind of know and bring action to it. So I was fortunate enough to be positioned where I was passionate about the same thing, and I was, hired to build and raise someone else's work. And so I think that what it taught me, but all of those seeds that I got in doing that, it taught me a lot about the nonprofit world. It taught me a lot about how hard it is, or how beautiful it is to believe in a cause and to try to galvanize it and bring people along. And I think Doughboy and why it's so near and dear to my heart is because it's like it's for us, like it's for my family. And so I had a lot of wins building other people's entities and brands. But now that's what I learned from that is how to be a one woman show and how to know how to, use what you got and build, could leverage connections. And like I just heard you mention, you doing video and and that is, those are areas that are not my strong suit. So that's why I'm just excited. That's what being in the nonprofit world taught me, because nobody has money. And then being a psychology major, just to take it back to Clark, I just remember when all of my counterparts were getting jobs and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, you don't make no money." Like psychology equated to nonprofit at the time. Like that's what you, unless you were going to, graduate school, which I ended up doing. But it was like you couldn't make money in nonprofit, and I was like, "Well, I'm not doing this for money anyway." But until you become an entrepreneur, you are.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, yeah, that's where I got it from.
Okay.
And hopefully that
It's a
answers
lot of
your
depth to this conversation, and I'm sure the listeners appreciate all of this knowledge that you shared. But let's get back to this
question.
pizza real quick. All right. So I got two questions. You ready?
Yep,
All
I'm
right.
always ready.
This is important for all of the pizza fanatics, aficionados, my fellow Ninja Turtles out there. And maybe this has already been done and I'm not aware, but I must ask, if you could create a signature pizza, what would you name it and what's on it?
Well, let me think of a name. I already have a signature pizza that I created. I just haven't put it on our menu yet, which is why I have a build your own. But I'm from New Orleans, as you know. I was gonna give some. I gotta think of something that's real cool though, because I'm not just gonna say anything. But it would have shrimp on it. It would have tomatoes on it. It would have probably some white truffle oil on it. Some
Hey,
mozzarella, like some spinach or some basil. I've made this pizza before when I was testing out, trying to figure out if I wanted to go into the franchise. And it was a hit. I mean, it was just delicious. I don't know the name though. I'm gonna have to come up because I'm real intentional with my names. So I gotta figure
okay.
out what I would call it.
We gonna revisit the name.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a name for you.
We gonna let you slide on that for now, but we gonna revisit that.
Good. I'm
With
gonna
I
that
would
being
say the
said,
name should be something that has that New Orleans culture attached to it.
oh yeah, for
I
sure.
know. I was trying to think. I'm
For
gonna
sure.
figure it out.
With that being said, can you kind of get into some of the offerings, like considering that a lot of people have certain preferences or dietary restrictions? Can you kind of let the listeners know like what you're able to accommodate? Because we're light years away from like back in the day when we just had a couple of pizza chains and it was just pizza, same old. You got pep, sausage, and combo. That was pretty much it, right? But now
Yeah,
we're much more advanced, right? We're civilized now, right? So we got all these
we
different
are.
offerings, and like what you just described, that sounds awesome. Whether
Yay.
it be like
Yeah,
gluten free cauliflower crust, can you kind of run it down
oh,
for us?
I sure can. My team, they talk about me all the time because when we were, so the franchise itself, we have some our signature pizzas, which are like, they're all named after Italian mobsters, but to make it simple for the people, we have a meat lovers, we have a veggie pizza, we have vegan pizza. We do have vegan offerings in terms of having like impossible meat. We have vegan cheddar, we have vegan mozzarella. Now we also have a cauliflower crust, and what I love is that I had a little twinge of autonomy in that our franchise owner allowed, because I advocated being on the West Coast. We also have an oxtail pizza. So I will
Hmm.
say to the people, I am
Mm.
going to integrate when you go to doughboypizza.co and you go to menus, you will see slightly more pizzas than what you see in our beloved Arizona Center. However, I have customers that will call me on that, and I don't have steak right now and I don't have oxtail, but at some of my sister locations, they sell theirs and it's a hit. And so because I am me, and you know from my bio, my background in psychology is I have a method into which I'm building, you know, my menu, because we have to build some business. The Arizona Center is back on the rebirth, is very much, you know, so as we build business, you will see your lobster and your oxtail and all the things. But right now, you see those power, you know, the powdered pepperoni, that thing, it flies out. So we do have turkey pepperoni. My family's very health conscious, so as am I. And so when I was, you know, deciding what we wanted to open with, I just knew one thing that I pay attention to, especially now. I don't remember celiac, and I don't even remember people being lactose intolerant when I was a kid. We just went in and everybody just, you know, ate what they gave you. But in today's times, I'm just very sensitive to that, and I never want a group of people to go eat and somebody can't eat. So when I, you know, I have a gluten-free crust, you know, I have a cauliflower crust. I have that, I mean, which is the same thing. Our crust is already vegan. So our Donna Italia crust comes from Italy. So it doesn't have dairy in it anyway. It's just olive oil, water, but it has gluten, you know, it has the flour, but which is also a crowd favorite. We have salads. I was intentional about that too. We all, as a franchise, have salads, and we have mozzarella sticks. That was something else, because I said, well, if somebody doesn't eat meat, I don't want them to be relegated to just being able to eat a salad, you know, or if they don't eat, it was like I had to kind of get in to the dietary restrictions that I knew. But the beautiful thing to those that are interested is why we see a build your own, because I see customers get real creative. So my team talks about me when the screen pops up and it's like 12. It's all the things that you could see. I'm like, hey, I want people to have things how they want it. So yeah, we try to get in front of that, but we do sell wings as well that are air fried. That's another draw, is that we don't have any hood vents or grease traps. Everything, it takes a little longer. I will tell people who are used to a traditional wing stop or ATL wings, it's not in no deep fried grease. It's in a commercial air fryer. So I believe in flipping them. Again, I'm like, I make things intentionally, so I'm not just gonna pop them in, because then one side will be, you know. So those are the things that, you know, our team, we pay attention to. So we do have wings, our salads, and our gluten-free turkey pep for those that don't eat beef and pork, and impossible meat, and we have shrimp as well as a topping, and smoked chicken for those that don't eat red meat. You know, so I try to think of all those things.
Indeed. Well, before we close it out, says everybody know where they can reach you at.
Yes, well, doughboypizza.co for sure. And that is to click locations or click order. My website is Rhea@realism.com. I mean, that's my actual entity where my coaching and my consulting is highlighted. Yeah, and if you're in Arizona, come on by the Arizona Center, Suite 1210. I'm there just about 5 out of 7 days a week. And we look forward to seeing you. And I'm just grateful. I appreciate you all giving
And
light to our business. I'm excited.
just
And I'm
reiterate
very passionate about ownership as well. So I just want to shout out. I'm very much proud of you guys. This is awesome that you're doing this.
And just to reiterate what the brothers were saying earlier, like about the Southern hospitality, I think when I came there the first time, I was there like every day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still haven't met moms.
Oh, she there right now. Go ahead. She there today. She there right now, so I can do this interview. She's there tomorrow, and she's there the next day. And you will know her when you see her. You will
Okay.
know her name is Diane. You'll see.
Look forward to. Last question: do pineapples belong on
Yes.
pizza? Okay.
In Arizona, they do, and we're gonna keep them coming. Let me tell you, Arizonians, they want ranch with their pizza, and they're gonna get pineapple, and they're gonna get jalapeno, and I'm here for it. And every day we can't keep it on in there enough. I personally, now if you ask me, I wouldn't put pineapple on my shrimp pizza, but everybody else puts pineapple on every pizza, and I'm okay
Indeed.
with it.
Well, sister, we appreciate you. I'm gonna keep sending people over to Doughboy Pizza, and looking forward to meeting moms.
We gonna crash.
Yay! Thank
We
you,
gonna
guys.
we gonna come through
Yeah.
soon. All of us. We crashing.
Sure.
Man.
Please,
Cash spot.
please, anytime,
What spot?
anytime.
Cash
Hey,
spot.
I'm gonna hook it
Hey, I
up.
was gonna say, hey, what we should do is we should try to figure out how we can gather down there and shoot an episode there, right in the shop.
Yes.
That would be dope.
Absolutely.
That would
Look,
be
you can
nice.
come up with a growth spot. Like highlight a growth spot pizza now. I'm not above
Hey,
a
That's what I'm
collab, a
saying, man.
partnership.
hey,
Like our friends,
listen,
All
we
right
have
now.
some leverage, so we can have
listen.
a
And
growth spot.
Don't threaten us
Each
with a
one of
good
y'all can
time,
come
man.
up.
Right.
hey,
You
because
can
the
come
thing
up with
is
a
that
favorite topping, each of y'all.
the hope is in the near future we get this agriculture really going on the land, and then we have an opportunity to collaborate there. Maybe some of these fresh ingredients you serving up can come from our soil. But yeah, a Grow Spot pizza sound good to me for sure.
It's real good.
I would love that. Basil, let me tell you, basil, cilantro, tomato. Look, I could send you a list. You tell me what you're growing, and I most certainly would love that. I really would.
Hey, sound like a plan.
All right, sis. Thank you again.
Well, thank
Yeah, greatly appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I'll see y'all soon.
All right, peace.
Indeed. And man, I think I'm the only one of the only ones that hasn't been up yet. So man, you know, I gotta get up there. I'm gonna get up there this week for sure. Brother True, that's our Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday we can do that.
Let's do it. Okay.
Everybody want to come through, you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna go over the StreamYard stuff. Did he log off?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't aware of the game plan. There you go.
I'm here. I'm adulting at the same time as
there we go.
He over there having too much fun in that mansion he's sitting in over there.
I see the piano back there. I'm gonna go play your tune real quick.
He got the baby grand in the back.
88 keys. That was a dope episode for sure, man. Great pizza, great ambiance, and like I said, it's not a lot of establishments you go to that you expect to see the owner and the owner's like really building with you. And those are the type of places that I really enjoy frequenting because it just lets me know that the owner is passionate about the product. It ain't always a situation where they there because they got to be there. You could tell that she truly does enjoy being there and interacting with customers. It could get tiresome, I'm sure, as an entrepreneur, being there all day. But when she gets to interacting with customers and I see people knocking on the window, just want to say hey to her, like that just lights up her day. And that lights up the people who frequent that place's day as well. So I really believe that she's got the makings to become a staple, not just in the Arizona Center, man, but in the Valley as well, man, because that is a dope pizza spot.
Yeah, I got to get the family up there too. I may get them up there before we go through on Friday because you know the kids they love pizza. That's probably their favorite dish. So I definitely got to get the family up there for sure, man. Man, this has been another dope episode, man. And then just so y'all know, man, if y'all missed out on this past weekend as well, Composting 101, guys, you missed out on a dope workshop. We did post some of the testimonials on the channel, so please check those out as well. But yeah, man.
Hey, shout out to Brother James, man. He killed that thing. Just a wealth of knowledge, man, being able to present that. I know he also presented the go bag training, but this one felt a little bit different. The energy that he had, it felt like he's more connected to the ground, to the earth. And that energy, it came through in his actual presentation as well. So, man, shout out to Brother James on that whole Composting 101. If you look at some of the pictures, man, I was in awe because I was learning so much while also being in my role and responsibility. I'm trying to balance both of those. So, man, it was great. I'm looking forward to that next one also. I didn't know there was so much that comes along with that.
Yeah.
And the benefits as well. So, man.
And I just want to shout y'all out, Nakia, you as well, because I know you're gonna go up there this week. But you know, I put the call out. Y'all ran to Doughboy. You know, I think Colin, you said you was there immediately. You know what I'm saying? Shows the type of brothers I'm building with. You know what I'm saying? Just don't talk it, they walk it. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like what you were saying earlier, Bilal, like, yeah, that's been my whole thing ever since Cross Colors came out. You know what I'm saying? I love, like, you know, putting people on the black-owned businesses. And what I like to tell people is I'm not a social media influencer. I'm a alive in the flesh influencer.
Come on, word them out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get into some. You got some announcements for us?
Yeah, man. So check this out. Legacy Camp it's coming fast and heavy, man. We've got a few more slots left available right now. You may want to tap in with us, man. Check out growspot.org/camp. The camp is coming up May 24th through the 26th. We've also got Let's Get Free, man. So, I mentioned this a little bit earlier on in the conversation, man, but Let's Get Free that's that's the workshop we're working on, about how to acquire land without banks and without credit, man. So that's coming up as well, October. So those are the announcements that we've got going on as well. It's just stay tapped in with us, man. Check us out on IG, Growth Spot Squad on IG. Come back, check out the podcast. We always got dope content that's coming to you every single week. In regards to the podcast, man, and it's invaluable, man. And then finally, check out our support page as well, man. We're on Fanbase now, so that's where we got Brother Phillip from our last week guest from Fanbase. So just continue to tap in with us, man. We got a lot of stuff that's going on, man, and you don't want to miss out on everything that we got going on here at the Applied Progress podcast.
Sure.
So that being said, man, any last words?
Can I drop a plug, man, again on the shirts? We got the campaigns going for the Legacy shirts. And we also are trying to work on some new prints and some new ideas, more shirts, more hoodies, sweaters, things of the like. You can actually check us out at bonfire.com/store/the growth spot. That's where you can go and check out the merch. They got them in different colors. And it also gives you an opportunity to support some of the different efforts that we have going. If you really like what we're doing, man, the best way to support it is to donate, because every single dollar that you donate helps us to be able to further the cause, to develop the land, to make the land a space to where we can continue to serve the community and all the different capacities in what you try to serve the community. It's great that we are able to do a lot of these workshops here, because these workshops help further those efforts. But every time we get someone that can help us by purchasing a shirt, because all the proceeds go towards the Growth Spot Foundation. Any donation goes directly to the Growth Spot Foundation. And our most immediate project that we're trying to do is to continue to secure land. And so we have a fence building project going up. So if you want to be able to support us, you can do so at GoFundMe. You can do at thegrowthspot.org, or reach out to any one of the brothers directly, man, and they can tell you how you can donate and support a lot of the beautiful things that we got going on in the upcoming future.
Man, drop that website one more time for us on the bonfire.
So it's bonfire.com/store/the growth spot.
Come on, man. All right,
yep,
perfect.
Check it out.
Perfect. So again, like I said, we got a lot of dope things that are going on, man. Just continue to tap in with us, stay connected with us. We each one teach one. We know how it goes, man. Here at the Growth Spot, we're unified in action to build, protect, and expand a fruitful legacy of love, equity, growth, ancestry, cooperation, and yield. By inspiring and educating on the practices of agriculture, self-care, nutrition, environmental stewardship, and entrepreneurship, we aim to cultivate a vibrant community that's rooted in resilience and sustainability. We are out, y'all. Peace.
Speak on it. Peace.